My name, Nashville, is Speaker James. I am a fear fighter, I'm a professional failure, and king of the roar. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about money. Specifically, not having any money. Poverty. And I'm going to deliver my speech on the Peace Out Poverty Playbook. And now poverty is a financial term. It's a description of how much physical wealth you have, but really, and more importantly, it's a mental state. It's a prison. And I would like to break out as many of you as I can today, because no one deserves to live there. And you have to fix your mind if you're going to fix your finances. If you don't get the mind part right, and you get lucky enough to change your financial situation, you will fall back, I promise. And you won't have what it takes to get back up. So, let me give you some credentials. James, how poor were you? Well, I grew up in the south side of Chicago, and if people went to school, I would go, we would share one book to 3 to 5 people. It was still missing pages. I was the kind of poor where my friends would come over with their whole family at dinner time with a can of green beans that they stole and ask if we had any extra food to feed them because the kids were hungry. And actually they were asking me because my parents weren't there because they were working, or they were sleeping because they were working. And so, no, I didn't grow up in a third world country where we were searching for water, but I have slept outside and I have eaten rotten food. But so what, right? I had a tough time. Who cares? It doesn't give you anything. Hard life doesn't mean that you get some sort of special advantage unless you use it to make yourself better. And as someone whose real dream, my highest dream, I promise you, at one point in my life was, I want to be able to go to the grocery store and buy Apple Jacks, real Apple Jacks, without having to save up, without having to look at my bank account first, without having to calculate the sales tax so that I knew I had enough when I got to the register and it wasn't going to be embarrassing that I didn't have enough. To now, my real dream is to leave a mountain to my children. A real mountain, Chastain Mountain. I'm looking at land, and I want to leave something to my kids and my kids' kids. I want to leave something on this earth. Your dreams have to change, and so can you. So I want to start with the layers, the phases you have to go through. It's work. It all starts with work. It starts with push-ups here. I'm going to talk about work. There's no free passes. There's no one weird trick. There's no quick fixes. It's work, and there's layers. Now, I'm going to talk about 4. There's more. I can only get you as far as I've gotten. I know there's more, but I can only talk you through what I got. But I promise, if you pay attention, this foundation will get you from wherever you are to the next level. You have to stack it. One thing I'm going to stress throughout this whole time, and I really want to point it out right now, is that you don't get to go from one level to the next and leave it behind. You're picking up another rock. You're carrying another bag. You have more with you. You have to get stronger to advance. The first level is hard work. It's just hard. You are only going to do jobs that no one else wants to do for the amount of money that no one else wants to take. That's it. No sugarcoating, no extra, no, it's not going to get easier. You're going to do it for a long time, and no one's going to tell you you're doing a good job, and it's not going to get easy. That's it. You got to put your head down, and you got to learn to love it. You got to learn to say, this is the process. This is what it takes. Because I promise you, at every other level, you got to go back to that. You lose that, you lose everything. Your foundation is hard work. Can I get an amen? Amen. Okay. If you're a crappy dishwasher, you will be a crappy CEO. Now let me explain to you what this level looks like. You're going to have a split between working and learning. Because if you only work and you don't learn, nothing changes. Work 100%. 100% of your time is work. 20% of your time is learning. That's right. You have to give 120% because if you don't exceed the level you're on, you will never change the level you're on. You'll be stuck at hard work. This is the level with the most resistance. This is the level where everybody wants you to stay with them. They're going to tell you you're trying too hard. It's not worth it. Why would you do it? They're going to tell you your dreams are stupid. They're going to tell you that it's not going to work, that the system's not designed to let you out. But you got to learn. You're too poor to not take something that's free. You don't have anything else. Learning is free. Pay attention. Open your eyes. Pick your head up. You can learn something from everybody. Every single person. Every single scenario. We have 8 rules in my house. Rule number 5 is win or learn, never lose. You only lose when you're dead. You only lose when you give up. We don't give up. You have to learn. You have to pay attention. Another quality of this stage here, guys, is going to be how much you get to say yes or no. You're 120% yes. Yes, sir. That's me. There's an opportunity to do something extra at work. Someone's got to stay late on the shift, and I don't care what job this is. You're going to be, this could be, there's no jobs in my town, James. I live in a small town. We don't have restaurants. We don't have Walmarts. Where you're shoveling. Oh, well, someone else already shovels the driveway. Do it for less. Do it for free. Earn respect. People will take you wherever you need to go if you're willing to sacrifice. And I pray for you. I hope that you get to work through this stage when you are young, because I will not lie, this is a physical stage. You are spending your life, you're spending your body at this phase. It's not all brain yet. You're spending what you got because that's all you have. So you don't get to say no. You say yes to everything. Yep, that's for me. I'm going to do it. There's power in words. But you get to get out of the stage because you've been paying attention, right? There's a machine, whatever business it is, you're going to be working 1, 2, 3 jobs, plenty of opportunities to pay attention, plenty of opportunities to learn. But when you're watching this machine go, something comes in, something comes out. Input, output, something turns. Where do I fit in this? Okay, you have to understand the equation for money. Follow the money, don't follow anything else. I promise you, if you get everything else wrong on the test, but you understand how the money works in your company, you're going to be just fine. When you can see that, when you can clearly see it, describe it, answer a question about it, say it back to somebody else, you're ready to ascend to the next level, my friends. And the next level is smart work. You have to work a little smarter, not so hard. This is where now you are no longer doing what no one else wants. You're able to do what no one else sees. Your job at this phase is to hold the line. You're here to protect. Keep your arms around that machine, that process. This is the phase where you discover value. It's no longer about an exchange of time for money. You're not worth $7.25 an hour. At that phase, you're probably worth less. They'd pay you less if they could, but the law says they can't. But when you understand value, when you say, I'm not here to work by the hour, I'm here to make sure that that machine that's cranking out that money stays cranking, that's value. What's that worth them? It's worth everything. They're not going to give you everything, but it's worth everything. And so now you're starting to understand value. You start to leverage this. This is the spark that's going to change and exponentially raise you out of that hard work stage. At this stage as well, your focus, you bought yourself a little bit of time. It's 90, 30, because we're still giving 120, guys. We're still giving 120. You're working hard 90, you're paying attention 30. You bought yourself a little bit more time to pay attention, to look, to learn, to get better. And at this phase, you get to say no a little bit. 10%. 10% of the time you get to say no. And you don't get to say no for yourself. You get to say no on behalf of that machine, because remember, that's your job. You say, that doesn't work. This machine works like this. You don't do that, you don't get to stay. The other piece of the smart level is that you're a leader. People are looking at you, right? You're in charge. So you got to be ready to teach. You got to be ready to motivate. You got to be ready to demonstrate. That's why this is a stacking of levels, not a passing of levels, right? There's going to be a time when you're a leader, when you're in charge of your shift, you're managing people, you're managing yourself, you're managing all those emotions and crazy feelings and everything you have in your head, where you got to step in and say, nope, This is how we do it. I'm going to smoke you on this one. I'm going to do it better, faster, stronger than you ever can. Let's go. Let them feel it. And then walk away like it was nothing. You can sweat when they're not looking. Heck yeah. I see some smiles. You've been doing it. Feels good. But you don't get there if you don't work hard first. You get out of this level, guys. This is a hard one. This is a big jump. For me, this was the biggest jump. When you can say, okay, I understand how this machine works. I get it. But I can make it better. I can move these pieces around. When it goes 3D, virtual reality, however you want to think about it. But when you can see the pieces, and not only do you know how they work together in that one prefabricated way that was explained to you, but anyway, you understand these pieces on their individual level. When you are looking at it that way, you're ready to go. Next level, rare work. This is where you get certifications, achievements, frames. I like to call it the frame level. You get to hang stuff up on the wall. You have external recognition that you know something, that you have dedication, that you can stick it out. This isn't just James on a real good day, and maybe tomorrow he won't show up, or maybe James will get drunk and be late to work. No. James is dedicated. James is on that rare level. There's less of you. Going back to value, you want to know what is the biggest value? Scarcity. The less of you there are, the more you're worth. Remember that. Remember that right now. There's only one of you. None of you are worthless. You're all out here trying to do something good. But you get to leverage value, not just assess value. This is good. You're starting to gain your power. I'm talking about exponential growth. You're leveraging your value. You're understanding that you fit into the piece of the machine this way, and you can increase profits. You can increase the value to someone else, right? Value is not always money, but still, stick with money, stick with dollars for a little while longer. Stick with me. Your focus is, again, moving over. You're only 70% work. 50% of your time is learning, studying. At this phase, you have bought yourself time, not just think about how it works. You get to think about how I want to work, how I want to live my life. It's your life now. You bought it with your blood. It's your life. Think about what you want to do with it. Think about how you can make it better. You're starting to make your job to learn now. You get to say no more than yes, because you're making those choices. You bought some time. You can take some risks. You can make the wrong call. At that hard phase, you can't afford to make a risk. You can't afford to say, well, you're being unfair to me, Mr. or Mrs. Boss. I don't want to work today. I'm going to go home. You want to eat? You want your kids to eat? Shut up. You got it now. You're rare, okay? You got your certifications. And this, guys, I'm telling you, this is critical. If you are in the level now where you're working, you're in charge of something, there's little letters you can put after your name in every market, every industry, every vertical. If you're in the music industry, I'm sure there's ways to do that as well. You get a song on the radio, credentials. Learn how to document and market yourself. This is the level where you need to understand that you are selling. You are starting to run you, LLC. The machine that's cranking out value is you. Maybe you got a family with you, maybe you don't, but it's the same thing, okay? And that's the key for the last part of this phase, right? You're ready to ascend out of the rare work when you have identified your heart, mind, body, soul. What do you want your life to look like? Do I want to wake up at 10 and go to work? Or do I want to wake up at 6 and go to work? Do I want this house, this car, this wife, those children, that life, those vacations, whatever it is? You have opened up the doors that you can build whatever you want. You don't have to go 9 to 5. You don't have to work 4 jobs. You don't have to retire when you're 40. Look, you might be happy living in a van at the beach selling necklaces. There's nothing wrong with that, but you built that because there's hard work. I'm telling you, you're not just going to get there, right? Because you had to work on your relationships. There's so much more to this. I don't want to get off topic, but Don't think that you have to have the same big dream that you see on TV all the time. It doesn't always have to be mansions and Lamborghinis and gold chains. No. You can pick your life, whatever you want. Listen to your heart. Pray. What am I here to do? What's my purpose? How do I make that better? How do I amplify the gifts that were given to me? How do I turn my struggles, my pain, my hatred of myself into something where I love others and I love the rest of the world so much that they can go that little bit when they were right there, when they were 99 and they almost couldn't get to 100. How do you give them that one more to get over the line, go to their next level so they can amplify their gifts, they can fulfill their purpose? This is that stage, guys. This is awesome. When you made it here, good for you. Remember, we're stacking. There's still going to be hard work. You still got to work smarter, not harder. There is no autopilot. You are never finished. You've ascended to the right work phase. If you choose, the right work is where you are not leveraging value, you are asserting value. You are the boss. You have a crown. You say, no one else says. This is you. There is so much pressure. There is so much. That is the heaviest rock on here. You think hard work's heavy? I'm telling you, the load that you are going to carry when people depend on you, it's not just your hard life, it's their hard life. You got to look them in the eyes. You mess up their food. You got to go look at them and say, sorry, you can't feed your kids today. You got the stomach for that? Are you ready for that? It's very important that you know how you LLC is going to work, or you won't be able to. I promise. At this phase, your focus is 20% work, 100% learning. You are taken in the world. You are just a sponge for opportunity. You flip that. You flip that dynamic. You remember at the hard work phase, you were 2100. You are 100. Or sorry. Yes, you're 2100 now. This means you are learning at a rate that will take you wherever you want to go. You are literally 10,000 times faster at learning than most people. That I would say there is less than 10% of people living at the right work phase. There are so many people trapped at the hard work phase because either they refuse to learn the lesson, or they haven't figured it out yet. Your decisions, you're going to be able to say yes to only about 10% of things, no to 90, because you are saying, that's not what I'm looking for. You have that mental vision, you have that picture, you have that definition of what you want so clearly defined that it doesn't matter. You go, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. I can sort through it. I see it. That's the one. Nope. It's like the Matrix. I want to caution you, don't get soft. Don't think that just because you only say yes 10% of the time, you have a 10% life. We're still living life at 120. We still got to fill it up. If you're not saying yes to enough stuff, you got to get out there and search for more. That means you're not doing enough work on the learning side. You're not saying yes to enough opportunities, to enough people. You got to talk to more people. One of the things that's going to be really challenging this level as well is coming in contact with people, the opportunities to learn. When you're down at the bottom, you ask someone, how do you pick up a rock? Everyone will tell you how to pick up a rock. Not too many people are going to tell you how to turn that rock into a nice cut diamond, put it in a ring, and sell it to somebody overseas. People start to hoard. Don't be those people. Always share your knowledge. Freely give what you have been given. Freely give what you had to take, because it was never yours to begin with, and you can only go up. When you help people, you put people who are lifting you up. Don't get soft. You still got to live at 120. Legacy is that final phase. There may be more, but let's just broadly call it legacy, right? When you understand what you want your memory to be, you've understood the ULLC, your life, you've picked it out, but now you're aware you've spent your life working, producing, but for what? We're going to be remembered 1 to 3 generations. Your name, your namesake, and that's just based on memories, right? And if you your bloodline, whatever it is that you want to leave behind, but you can't take it with you. And money's going to come and go, but you have to live your life. So what do you want to leave behind? And how do you focus that? At the right level, you can even bring your morals into your decisions, right? When you're at the hard work level, if you're a vegetarian, working at McDonald's might not be the best thing for you. Tough though. That's where the work is. When you're at the right phase, you can say, I don't want to do that. I don't support eating meat. I'm not going to work meat. Cool. Same thing with your legacy. You can start saying that I don't think there should be blue shirts in the world. And you can say, I'm never wearing a blue shirt again. You can support only businesses that wear non-blue shirts. However you want to do that. I know it's a silly example, but I do it on purpose because I want you to really think about what you really think needs to be in the world. Because at this phase, you have the privilege of doing that. You have the privilege of thinking about how the world should be shaped and what it's going to look like after you. We are just one step in humanity, right? How many grandfathers do you have? How many generations of people were scared, running, sacrificed, died, gave up everything to get one more generation up? This is your shot. This is your chance. What are you leaving for your sons and daughters? What are you leaving them? What are you leaving for other people's sons and daughters? Is that it? Is that all you got in you? Maybe that is, but maybe you got enough for this whole room, this whole country, this whole world. Is that what you got in there? Then don't waste it. Don't let it die in the ground. Let it out. Leave a legacy. How long do you want to be remembered?